what can we learn therapeutically? And I think one of the great discoveries that's kind of, well, this was 1975 that this was first ground regulatory system, and still nobody really got it. Nobody still gets it. But one thing that's happened in the last 20 years that's related is the microbiome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have this growth on our intestine. We knew it was there, the symbiotic bacteria. And we began to know that, you get the wrong bacteria there, and like, yikes, things start to goof up, and the wrong bacteria are making poisons. Sometimes they get really bad that go into us. But it turns out that the matrix and the microbiome actually communicates, that they communicate across cell or barriers, or else between the cells. There's two ways to cross the cell, the membrane in the small intestine. One is through receptor sites in the cell, and the other is in this mortar around the cell. So like that starts to wear out. It's like you need new tuck pointing like a mason tuck pointing bricks. You need to fill that in, and that's where polysaccharides, mucilage, would make a great addition and help, and that would help in some kinds of leaky gut, where the problem is that not in the cell receptor, which can be broken. I'm letting everything in, or it can be pried open, because gluten is a signaler, like, open up, yes. So actually it helps us understand sometimes the cell walls, the capillaries, the health, and other organs that are adjacent to the matrix. But at any rate, there's that microbiome, and there's the cell wall and the whole setup at the side of the small intestine, and there's the matrix on the other side, and communication. So keeping the intestinal, I think one could say, well, the way I'd look at it, if the tongue looks off in some way, which we can even tell you people on Zoom too, we can tell from your tongues at a distance. So watch out. And so that's a good peering at the intestines, in a way, at the whole alimentary tract. There's scum if there's mucus all over it, or these precipitate or the exfoliation from the tongue body. If it's hot, if it's red, if it's creased, if it's dry, if it's moist, damp, swollen, teeth marks, all sorts of things. Now, if there's teeth marks on the side of your tongue, then it's like your intestines are like, have that poor tone. If it's red and creased, especially further down, it's more red and creased and dry and hot. And so in getting the intestines in order, we help to get the matrix in order too, and especially getting that probiotic prebiotic relationship down there in the intestines with the symbiotic bacteria. If we can get that in better shape, also we are going to contribute to the matrix health. And the matrix, if we get it in health, it's going to be reflecting back into tissues like that. That's so. Mucilages and astringents that act on the intestines are very important. Both of them act on these films, which are really made up. The microbiome is really a film, is a matrix made by the bacteria living in that community. It's really kind of the same stuff. It's polysaccharides again. So, okay. So the matrix rules from the capillary wall to the cell wall to the lymphatic capillary wall, that whole space in there. And several doctors worked on this before there was really a name for it, and figured out this is really important. We got to keep that space clean. Of course, and then way back in physiology, Claude Bernard, milieu interior, it's like internal milieu is very important, and that was ignored to some extent, but that's the milieu of the cells is very important. They get their health from that milieu, and that is the matrix. I could have called this the holistic medicine in the milieu interior, but I don't even know how to pronounce it. So
Thanks for joining us. If you are interested in learning more, you can visit our website at matthewwoodinstituteofherbalism.com. You can find all of our social links in the description below. Also, please subscribe to our channel so you can keep up with the latest videos.